Have you ever wondered where the ultra-wealthy started their fortunes? How did they make their first million, their first billion? In today's video, we'll dive into the captivating story of one such individual who didn't just build a fortune, but became the first person in history to reach billionaire status. Join us as we uncover the secrets of his success and explore the strategies that made him a legend in the world of business. Before we start, please subscribe so you will be notified when we upload new videos like this one. Now let's get started. In the late 19th century, the United States was a land of opportunity. People from all walks of life were drawn to its bustling cities and vast open spaces, hoping to strike it rich. Among them was a young man named John D. Rockefeller, who would go on to become the richest person in the world. But his story is not what you might expect. John D. Rockefeller was born on September 8, 1839, in a small house in Richford, New York. His father, William, was a traveling salesman who often left the family for extended periods of time, leaving his wife, Eliza, and 5 sons to fend for themselves. The family struggled financially and moved frequently. Young John worked odd jobs from an early age to help support his family. When John was 7, his father's criminal behavior continued and he spent time in jail. Despite the difficult circumstances, John D. Rockefeller was a bright and ambitious student. He excelled in school and was known for his exceptional work ethic. At age 13, he took a job as a cattle hand on his uncle's farm to earn money for college. After 2 years, he saved enough money to enroll in Folsom's Commercial College, where he studied bookkeeping. After graduating, he took a position as a bookkeeper at a produce commission firm, where he quickly made a name for himself as a diligent and efficient worker. In his spare time, he taught himself advanced mathematics and accounting. By the time he was 21, he had earned a reputation as an expert in his field and was offered a partnership in the firm where he worked. However, he turned down the offer and instead started his own business as a produce broker. With $4,000 in capital, he rented a small office and began buying and selling produce. Within a few years, he had built up a successful business and was ready to expand. But he knew that to do so, he needed to diversify his investments. That's when he turned to the booming oil industry. By the mid-19th century, the United States had become the world's largest producer of oil, and as the demand for oil grew, so did the number of oil wells. However, the industry was highly fragmented, with thousands of small producers and refiners competing for a share of the market. This led to a race to consolidate the industry, and Rockefeller was determined to win. With his keen eye for detail, relentless work ethic, and passion for numbers, Rockefeller set out to revolutionize the oil industry. He started by purchasing a small refinery in Cleveland, Ohio, and quickly made a name for himself by offering high-quality products at competitive prices. However, he knew that to succeed in the long term, he needed to do more than just refine oil. He wanted to control the entire supply chain, from extracting the oil to delivering it to customers. So he began buying up oil wells in western Pennsylvania, the heart of the oil industry. He negotiated deals with railroad companies to transport his oil to refineries, and developed a sophisticated system for tracking and accounting for every barrel of oil he processed. His attention to detail was unparalleled, and he was able to cut costs and increase efficiency at every turn. As his empire grew, so did his wealth. Within a few years, he had amassed a fortune that made him the richest man in the world. But he never forgot his humble beginnings and the importance of hard work and discipline. To motivate yourself, take a moment to appreciate the magnitude of Rockefeller's achievement. He was the first person in history to amass a fortune of $1 billion. $1 billion. In today's money, that's worth well over $30 billion. But how did he do it? Well, it all started with a single oil refinery that he purchased in Cleveland, Ohio. Back then, Cleveland was a small town of just 100,000 people. But Rockefeller saw an opportunity to grow his business there, and that's exactly what he did. With just one refinery, he laid the foundation for an empire that would change the world forever. The growth of Standard Oil Company was nothing short of spectacular. In just a few years, Rockefeller's empire expanded to 14,000 employees and controlled 90% of America's oil production. It was a feat that had never been seen before. At the height of his power, Rockefeller's net worth peaked at 1.5% of the entire US economy. In other words, he owned nearly $1.5 trillion in today's money. That kind of wealth has never been seen before or since. But Rockefeller didn't stop there. He went on to become the world's first billionaire, officially dethroning the previous richest man, Andrew Carnegie. Carnegie was so shocked by Rockefeller's success that he invited him to lunch and asked him the secret to his success. Rockefeller replied simply, "I always try to make a first-rate business no matter what." And that's what he did. For example, when Rockefeller entered the oil industry, there were around 30 major oil refineries operating in the United States. But within a few years, he had either bought out, forced out of business, or formed exclusive partnerships with all of them. He didn't stop there. He also bought out the majority of oil wells across the country, making Standard Oil the biggest landowner in the United States, owning more acres than 20 of the largest railroads combined. Now here's the thing. Rockefeller wasn't just a businessman, he was also a philanthropist. Throughout his life, he donated millions of dollars to charity, which is why he's remembered as one of the greatest philanthropists of all time. Rockefeller established the University of Chicago and donated $21 million to it, which was a staggering amount back then. To put it in perspective, this gift was equivalent to donating $600 million today. He also gave away hundreds of millions more to various other causes, such as public health, education, and the arts. So, when you think about Rockefeller, don't just remember him as a ruthless businessman. He was also a generous philanthropist who made significant contributions to society. When you look at the story of John D. Rockefeller, it's easy to be amazed by his incredible journey from humble beginnings to becoming the richest man in the world. But what can we learn from his life and career? What are the key takeaways that can help us in our own lives? Here are a few things that I have learned from Rockefeller's story. Number 1, start small, but always think big. Rockefeller didn't start out with a lot of money or connections, but he always had big dreams. He started out as a produce broker and then moved on to refining oil. He didn't stop there. He eventually controlled the entire supply chain of oil, from extracting it to delivering it to customers. He didn't settle for just being a small fish in a big pond. Instead, he set his sights on becoming the biggest fish in a big pond. Number 2, money is powerful, but only if you handle it correctly. Rockefeller understood the power of money, and he used it wisely. He was a master of saving and investing money. He reinvested his profits back into his business, which helped him to expand and grow. He also diversified his investments and took calculated risks. Number 3, efficiency is more important than resources. Rockefeller was a firm believer in efficiency. He always looked for ways to improve his processes and cut costs. He was obsessed with numbers and data, and he used them to make informed decisions. He didn't just rely on gut feeling or intuition. He believed in the power of facts and analysis. Number 4, legacy matters more than wealth. Rockefeller knew that his wealth alone wouldn't last forever, but he also knew that his legacy could live on for generations. He established the University of Chicago and donated hundreds of millions of dollars to charity. He wanted to be remembered for more than just his wealth. He wanted to be remembered for his contributions to society. As we come to the end of this video, I want you to think about your own goals and aspirations. What do you want to achieve in life? How can you make a positive impact on the world? I encourage you to take inspiration from Rockefeller's story and pursue your dreams with passion and determination. Remember that while wealth is important, it's not the only thing that matters. Your legacy and the positive impact you have on others can be just as important. So don't settle for mediocrity. Aim for greatness and strive to make a difference in whatever you do. Who knows, you might just be the next billionaire. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and subscribe for more content. Don't forget to follow us on social media for additional insights and updates. Until next time, keep hustling and stay motivated.